So the Arne Slot era at Liverpool is underway with a win. Ipswich 0, Liverpool 2. I think ultimately Liverpool just had better individual players across the pitch than Ipswich, but it was the proverbial game of two halves. So let's firstly take a quick look at the first half and maybe figure out what the differences were between the two. And Ipswich, of course, started really brightly. It's a bit of a cliche, to say that these newly promoted clubs can be dangerous and all this kind of stuff, but it's true. It really is true. I thought this was going to be a bit of a tricky fixture because Ipswich fans were really loud, really enjoying the day, lovely summer's day and all that kind of stuff. And the Ipswich players, obviously, they've been looking forward to this game. As soon as they've seen Liverpool in the fixtures, Liverpool home, they've been loving it. And for some of these players, this is probably the biggest game of their careers so far. They were playing surprisingly high for a newly promoted side. They were trying to press Liverpool's midfield, and it had a real effect on Liverpool. Liverpool really struggled to kind of break through, the middle. And through the pre-season, we've seen all these intricate triangles from Liverpool and how they're liking to, progress through the thirds, as they say, and get that extra man advantage and all this kind of stuff. And we saw none of it really. Liverpool just weren't able to do it. All the passes were kind of lateral, and they couldn't find the space to really progressively pass. And it didn't look like they had the confidence. Obviously, the pitch was a little bit dry, which affected both sides. I think how both sides like to play, it wasn't ideal. Yeah, Liverpool was so deep, they just couldn't progress through there. What I would say though is that maybe as a consequence of Ipswich pressing quite highly through the middle, is that Mo Salah was always an option on the right, playing off the shoulder, and Liverpool tried that ball countless times throughout the first half. I think Van Dijk tried, Trent did, Gravenberch did, maybe Szoboszlai did, maybe Diaz did. It didn't quite come off, but you can see it was always on there. And for the whole of that first half, Ipswich were the better team, it's got to be said. They created the most chances and were just look more likely to do something. They weren't able to take any of them chances, though, there. And I think there was one bright spot for Liverpool getting towards the end of the first half where Jota went on a little bit of a run. He showed that little bit of aggression, a little bit of kind of desire there to try and make something happen on his own. And that maybe just not quite rattled the rest of the team and kind of wasn't quite a rallying cry, but it was something positive to go into the second half with, because it was like there wasn't a lot to grasp there for Liverpool fans and players to thinking, how are we going to get something from this game? And we've seen that over the past couple of seasons, especially last season when Liverpool starts off slow. Especially the second half of last season, they found it really difficult to turn it around and to come out the second half with a more positive performance. However, this was the game in two halves, and Liverpool came out in the second half and ultimately looked like a totally different team. There was one change. Ibrahima Konate came on for Quansah. I'm a Quansah fan. I thought he had a decent first half in terms of that he didn't look particularly worse than anybody else. But Arne Slot felt that Liverpool needed to be more aggressive and to win more of these duels. And ultimately, I think Quansah won 50% of his duels. Konate won 75% of his duels, so you can say that it worked. And Konate really is maybe the more aggressive of the two players. Quansah's a bit more calm and laid back. Konate likes to go out there and hunt a little bit more and be a bit more aggressive in the air. Liverpool did improve. I think there was an immediate improvement when they came out, and then Ipswich kind of wrestled back control a little bit. I thought, oh, no, is this the narrative of the game? But it wasn't to be. I think around the 55th minute, Liverpool really took things up a gear. Some great movements between Szoboszlai, Alexander-Arnold, lots of passing there in the middle of the pitch for a change instead of going direct. They managed to cut through the middle. Anyway, it ends up with Diaz being in a great position and he kind of hooks it over. Should have done a bit better, but this seemed to be a bit of a pivotal moment in the game. It seemed to be a moment where Liverpool thought, right, we can take this up a notch and move up through the gears a little bit. Then we had a section of play where Liverpool were more dominant on the ball. There was like lots of shots pinging in there. McAllister rifled one in there. Ipswich were really putting the bodies on the line, blocking all these shots. Ball ends up with Trent Alexander-Arnold in that wide position. And we've seen this movie before, haven't we, where Trent whips it in there. Phenomenal ball. Jota jumps up and you put your mortgage on the back of the net rippling. Jota heads wide and you're thinking, is this going to be one of those days? But it wasn't, because not long after that, Diogo Jota scores a goal, like within a couple of minutes. So this really was a period of domination for Liverpool. Again, a great move there. Mo Salah ends up providing the assist. Jota slots home. And then from that moment, Liverpool looked really, really comfortable. I think it was only about 6 or so minutes later when they added the second. It was Mo Salah again playing off the shoulder. It was a little bit lucky maybe with the Ipswich deflection, which kind of opened the ball up to him for him to finally slot in. But he made his own luck. He made 2 really good runs to get into that position. And he knocks it home there, and he looked delightful. I think that's his 9th goal on the opening day of seasons, a Premier League record. From that moment, Liverpool just never looked like conceding. It looked like a real blow to Ipswich, who didn't really have the answers from that moment forward. So a quick word on Gravenberch. Like everyone else, not amazing in the first half. Struggled really, to be honest, into doing much positive. But the second half, I thought he was really impressive. Always willing to show for the ball. Always wants it. He's great at moving his body, little drop the shoulder, create space with his body there. And he's always looking to play progressive balls when they're on. He's not looking to make risky balls. So I thought he did really well there, and he was kind of at the heart of all Liverpool's positive moments. He was there deep on, doing something to kind of make that happen. So he was really impressive. He had a great day today. Do Liverpool still need to kind of improve there? I would say they probably do, and the fact that they went for Zubimendi in the week and it wasn't to be, I think that suggests that Slot and the backroom team there at Liverpool, they feel the same way, because as good as Gravenberch was today, for the second half, he's going to be playing over 50 games this season, and if he gets an injury or he's just not able to do it, he's still a young man. I think there needs to be a deeper squad in that position there. Maybe Slot thinks, well, if I can't find the right person, I've got the personnel to do it. Maybe he wants to see a genuine improvement on what he has there. That's fair enough. You can't really argue with that, rather than just buying, a brand X number 6, getting them off the shelf and putting them in the team. We've got one of them. We've got Endo there. So whatever we get has to be not just an improvement in the player, but he's got to fit that right kind of system with Slots. I hope that there's a list of players there that they'll go for. I'll be surprised if Liverpool don't make some reinforcements before the transfer deadline closes. But who knows? Who knows at all? But next up, Brentford at home. Going to be Slot's first taste of Anfield in the Premier League. 4:30 kickoff, I think, next Sunday. After that, away at Old Trafford. Could be a tricky one, but we've been there before and it's been anything but. So, what is good that we played first. We got a 12:30 kickoff out the way, and we're top of the league. So let's see what the other teams do, and let's just try and enjoy it for what it is right here, right now. Up the Reds.